welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yes,
That
Down the
rhymed.
Rabbit Hole. Yeah. How about that?
And this Down the Rabbit Hole is for September 7th through September 19th. And as you know, these always follow the Mayan Trecena, or the 13-day week. So what do we have astrologically for these 13 days?
Well, we're still feeling the effects of the new moon, which is on August 28th actually, but it's still in effect this entire week. And this new moon was in Virgo, and this is a great time to start new projects or get things moving, start a new business, a new health routine. Anything to do with starting something new is very favorable. I know I've had many clients and people ask about relationships, and yes, this is a better time for relationships. The only thing is, being in Virgo, we tend to be a little bit more nitpicky.
Now, when you say relationships, do you mean like...
all types of relationships, business, professional, you know, personal, whatever it is. Virgo's all about, you know, working hard and bringing people together on their projects. And that's what this new moon was all about. So this entire week we're still feeling the effects. But we're leading up to the full moon on the 12th, which is in Pisces. So this is about, it's a harvest moon also, which is about, you know, completing something or bringing something to completion and then moving forward. So you got this kind of 1-2 punch coming in. You've got the new moon saying, okay, we need to highlight some new areas, and then you got the full moon on the 12th saying, okay, let's finish up the old stuff and move forward. So.
Well, and you know, it's interesting, as always, that goes right in alignment with this Trecena of the Mayan calendar, which happens to be offering, or Mulak. And what that has to do is with cleaning up the negative energy, you know, the water, like wiping away the negative energy, paying off your karmic debts. And on 13 Mulak, which happens to be the last day of this Trecena, so that would be September, when we say 19th, you can kind of wipe them all away at once.
Sweet.
But the other thing that this 13 days is for is also about accepting change and being ready for new things. So that goes right in alignment with what you're talking about. So again, the energies are always...
Yeah, it's amazing how the Western astrology and the Mayan calendar seem to line up very well. And I'm sure there's other, you know, other forms of astrology that are adding up just as the same way. You know, but this is also a special week because there's some stuff going on, such as 9/11. You know, the 9/11 that took place 10 years ago. The
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary. And, you know, we'll just touch upon that a little bit briefly. And first, you know, we want to say to everyone who's lost a loved one or someone connected to 9/11, you know, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. But on the, you know, on the other side, this basically was a wake-up call to the country that, you know, that there is an element in this world that is all about deceiving and, you know, suppressing.
Right.
So
and it's not, it wasn't only a wake-up call for the States, though. I mean, this was felt and reverberated around the world.
Right.
You know?
Such a big event.
Yeah.
You know, but from this point forward, you know, this is why we're doing Down the Rabbit Hole. We want people to really understand what actually took place on 9/11. You know, it's not some sugar-coated version that's been, you know, repeated over and over. It goes pretty deep. So do your own homework and please, you know, get informed, because part of this change that's occurring is a wake-up call or an awakening to the truths of reality here on this planet.
Yeah, and be sure to do your own research and follow your own intuition. And if something smells fishy, as we like to say, or something just isn't logical, dig deeper. And, you know, as you're doing your research, be sure to look at the source of the research. There's a lot of people out there giving disinformation, and if it doesn't feel right to you, then it probably isn't. And as we're finding the more research that we're doing, there's a lot more behind the scenes than what we were led to believe in the beginning. But along the lines, I want to kind of go back to something that you said, and the very first thing that you said was our hearts go out to the people that lost loved ones. And, you know, heart math tells us that we are literally all connected and that we literally feel each other's energy, and so does the earth. So I would encourage people on 9/11 to focus their energies on the positive, on sending love to those survivors and sending you know, comfort and love rather than focusing on the negative, which can so easily be done during these times.
Absolutely. My point was just that, you know, when we see a disaster like this, don't just take it at face value, is what I'm suggesting.
Absolutely.
And God forbid we see something else like this coming up in the near future, maybe a year, 2 years down the line. Do not take it at face value, because there's more than that meets the, you know, more to the story that meets the eye. So.
Well, and I was going to say, you know, for that concept, if it's new to anyone, our government, as well as other governments, have come out and talked about false flags that they admit to that have happened in the past. So it's logical that if they've done it in past throughout history, it's logical that it has continued. So, you know, this isn't some new concept. You know, if you've never heard of a false flag before, I just recommend that you go research it. And our government, as well as others, have come out with and declassified documents to tell us that.
Exactly. So this is a period, given that it's going to be a full moon on the 12th, and it's right after the 9/11, this is a period that we'll never forget, but we also have to put this behind us and say, how do we move forward from here?
That's right.
And that's what we're going to be doing. But speaking of false information, let's switch gears and talk about Elenin.
Could you be talking about Elenin?
Yeah, talk about a lot of confusion and misinformation that's taking place.
Yeah, and I want to share something that happened. Now, we're recording this on August 31st. So when I say that it happened yesterday, it happened on August 30th. And I literally got an email from one of my friends saying, hey, great news, Elenin's breaking up. And as I was replying to her saying, you know, you got to really be careful, I get a phone call from Joseph saying, hey, did you read the email that I sent you about Richard C. Hoagland, saying that it's clearly a craft that's being, it's not natural in nature.
I actually have his chart, his email
Yes.
here, but go ahead.
And
Continue.
then, so we kind of talked about that, and then it was a couple hours later I got another email from a friend saying, oh my gosh, did you see Elenin has broken up, and now it's even worse than expected because now we have multiple things coming in. The point of this is we all need to, number one, calm down a little bit and do a little bit of research and not jump on any bandwagon that goes out there, and look for true evidence. I'm seeing a lot of people jumping straight to fear, so we have to stay out of fear.
The first thing that you're absolutely right, the first thing we need to realize is, number one, this thing is not going to hit the earth, okay?
Right.
It has nothing to do with the earth in a sense, the physical side of it. It's just that it's interesting that these alignments that took place, and we have the alignments that are going to happen on 9/11, there's a major alignment that's going to happen with this object. And we've predicted, again, we're not sure what's actually going to happen. So it's not like we know for sure. But the information that keeps coming out is very interesting. You know, I sent out an email with Richard Hoagland's statement and a video attached to it. Somebody else's, Marshall Mathers, take on what he thinks it is also. And like Kathy says, we're not here to scare anybody, we're just here to inform. This is the latest information, you know, so you take it at face value, but do not think that this thing is going to somehow hit the earth. It's not, okay? It's just going to be in our atmosphere. It's going to be closer to the earth and the sun over the next month or so.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You know, if it's broken up, what they're saying caused the breakup was a CME. Okay, so they think that may have been a coronal mass ejection from the sun. And but I will say that I watched some other documentaries and did a little bit of research where other people are saying that the evidence that's put forth does not show that it's breaking up, almost to the contrary. And one of the things that I'm finding interesting is that some of the people that are sending me the pictures saying, hey, look, it's broken up, they're not reading the fine print. The pictures that they're sending me is of a comet that broke up in 2000, the year 2000. So again, you know, you really have to dig a little bit deeper.
Right.
The alignment that Joseph was talking about on September 11th isn't technically an alignment. It's the day that the comet is purported to be the closest to the sun. Okay. So again, I find it really interesting that it happens to be the 10-year anniversary of 9/11, which caused so much anguish and fear to begin with, and then now we've got a lot of people pointing towards Elliman on this day to see what happens. Again, I really recommend that if you're going to be doing research and you're going to be looking towards Elliman, that you look at it with inquiry.
Sure.
Be inquisitive, but not fearful. One of the things that they say may happen as it comes closest to the sun is that it could have an electrical discharge. And what that means is the comets that have larger orbits have the tendency or the ability to build up a magnetic charge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like when you rub your foot on a carpet and you discharge
Sure.
it. That could happen when it comes close to the sun. Or it's truly broken up and the sun will just melt it.
Yeah.
Or nothing will happen at all.
Exactly. I think the worst case scenario is that if there is a coronal mass ejection from the sun and this comet has been magnetized or whatever this object is that it may take out a satellite or some form of electronics here on the planet. And again, I'm not sure. Okay, I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure. We're not sure, and nobody else is sure.
Which is why we have so much conjecture from all over the world.
Exactly. But the one thing we do want to cover is that you know, it's do not take this as a fearful. I had one comment, you know, thinking, oh, you know, somebody wrote me back, said, oh, so the world's going to end. I said, oh, no, no, no.
But you know, let's talk about that for a moment. If the world does end,
let's not go there.
Well, no. But hold on a second. If the world does end, I'm not afraid of dying. You know, you're not afraid of dying. If it's in the divine accordance or divine alignment that the world ends, then that just means that we all get to shift up at the same time. You know?
Hey, like I've been saying, it's not the world's going to end. It's the world as we know it is going to end. Okay, everything we believe.
It's the end of the world
exactly.
as we know it.
So again, no fear. But this is
fear.
a major week. So let's pay close attention to what's going on. And please do not watch mainstream media. Okay, I'm sorry, but all you're going to get is propaganda and a lot of hogwash. Go out and find the news. Go to other news sources outside the country. You know, these smaller places have fantastic reporters, and you're really getting true information. Because right now we are all about truth. We want to know what's going on in the world. We want to know, you know, who we are and where we come from. So this is part of it.
And to that end, if anybody out there has verified data on Elliman that you can point to, please, because I'm constantly putting more information out there, blogging on it, trying to keep people informed in a positive light with true information.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it for this episode of Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
And
stay positive.
Stay positive. Stay optimistic. You know, we're in a period of change, so we're just going to flow with it and do our best. Yes. You know, that's it.
So have a great week.
Take care.